And let's move on now on the show. Let's take it home now to Nigerian players, Nigerian footballers, and let me read this one quickly. A quick transfer rumor I saw this morning while I was making my way down to the studio. Florentino Perez is considering a 50 million euros offer for Samuel Chukwueze this summer, and that's according to Radio Marca. I mean, when I say this, you know where I'm heading to. Of course, Chukwueze had a fantastic game.
He's always played well against Real Madrid.
I say you know, he's always doing that. But I mean, this past weekend, he had a fantastic game, 2 brilliant goals, and Villarreal won that game by 3-2. I mean, that first goal, the way the body movement, the way was it natural? I think it was natural. I can't remember. I'm not too sure now. The defender, he side-footed before he finished with his left foot. Then the second goal, I mean, typical Iron Robben stuff, you know.
Yeah.
In PlayStation, we call that RO2 kind of goal where you call the ball and it beats the goalkeeper. You know, fantastic game for Chukwueze. And that game against Guinea-Bissau came to mind again. you know how we react. You know how Nigerian football fans react. I mean, you saw him in Abuja. He couldn't do this in Abuja, this and that, you know, stuff like that. But Samuel Chukwueze, what would you say has been the turning point this season? He has 6 goals and 5 assists in the La Liga so far this season. This is excluding the goals he scored in the Copa del Rey and all that. He's having
in our competition is 14 or 15 goals.
You know, 14, 15, his goal contribution is over 26, 27 or thereabouts. So he's having his best individual season. What has been the turning point for Chukwueze? Is it the manager? I mean, he played under Unai Emery seasons ago, and he didn't have his best season. Emery, you know, credit to him, he's doing so well with Aston Villa at the moment. But what has been the turning point for Samuel Chukwueze so far this season?
I look at Chukwueze, and funny enough, I asked him this question before the match against Guinea. And because I was in Abuja, you know, for the Guinea-Bissau game, I am going to say this clearly, like very, very clearly. Under Unai Emery, this guy suffered with a lot of injuries and surgeries, just the same way like Osimhen and the same way like Kelechi Iheanacho. This is the first time where he's not had to deal with any surgery, any operation and all that. And then he plays in a team that he's been with for 5 years now or so.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so he plays with a team that he trains with every day. You come to the national team, first of the facility is not good. Let's not deceive ourselves. Secondly, the team is divided in groups. The foreign-born players are on one group. The Igbo players are on another group. How do I put it now? The northern bloc are on their own group. So it's a mutilated team, right? It's not really a cohesive unit. And in the last 18 months, Chukwueze have played under 3 different coaches, from Gennett Raw to Austin Iguavon, and then again to currently Pesero. Pesero have not been on the job long enough to harmonize the team. The best chance we have for team harmony and team cohesion was qualifying for the World Cup so that they can go to the pre-World Cup camp and then train together and understand themselves and then create a bond. But that didn't happen. So anybody who's going to judge Chukwueze on that, I'm not saying he played well, but let's go back again, take the Real Madrid game and bring the Guinea-Bissau game and juxtapose them together side by side. You will notice that everything that Chukwueze did in the Real Madrid game, he did in the game against Guinea-Bissau. The problem was that the things he did against Real Madrid that worked, he did exactly that against Guinea-Bissau. They didn't work. Doesn't mean he didn't do them. Just that sometimes, probably, say the game of football is a game of margin. So if the grass is 1 inch taller and you're used to whipping a ball in on the grass that is, let's say for instance 0.1 centimeter, and then you go and play in a field that is now 0.5 centimeter, you will still reflex memory, right? Muscle memory. You will still whip the ball with your 0.1 dimension, and when you whip that ball, that simple 0.4 margin that is added on it on the surface might just make the difference, might just make you not to be able to deliver precise precision. I'm not holding brief for them. You know that I could be very, very tough on the Super Eagles player. As a matter of fact, I am considered as a guy who is a hater of Super Eagles player, both from the class of 94 up on this set. But there are times when you look at the team and you say to yourself, all things being equal, I understand the crisis that is here, I understand the problem that is here, and I'm not going to blindly, knowing all these things, still attack the player. So I don't think that Chukwueze did anything bad. What did he do against Real Madrid? He got the ball, he does it to the wide side, and then he cut back what Mahrez would do, and then bent the ball. The ball went in. Yeah. First off, in that game, the Real Madrid defense were sort of asleep. How many people have scored 3 goals against Madrid recently? Not too many people. And then the Guinea game again. The Guinea in this regard is like Villarreal. When a small team plays against a big team, is a tough ask. Saudi Arabia beat Lionel Messi-led Argentina. Morocco beat everybody but France, and they could still have taken them to the cleaners. They beat Spain, they beat Portugal. So it's not necessarily because the players are bad, but in the battle of the underdog versus the Goliath, the David versus Goliath, David always come a million times prepared, because this is a moment that would announce them. If Chukwueze had gone into that game and they had lost, for instance, nobody would be talking about the transfer rumor of Florentino Perez wanting to buy Chukwueze. And remember, every time they played against, he will go and play against Betis now, the performance will not be this good. It is just like that. And when I play football, when I want to play against maybe the leading team, the top team, damn, we're going to die there. Because this is the game where, one, the big team have more fans, they have more media. You have you ever come to the studio and then you spend 1 hour discussing West Ham and Southampton and Leicester? We discuss them in passing, but when you want to talk about Pep Guardiola and Man City, you talk about the tactics, the players, the movement, the statistics and all that. There is a reason why. It's the same TV that's showing you all of these games. It's the same media that is putting all of these stats in your phone. Why are you talking about Man City more? Why are we talking about Real Madrid and Barcelona more? It's because those are big teams. The Barcelona crisis, other lower clubs are having the same financial crisis. How come the Barcelona crisis have been on top of the news all through? It's because they're big teams. So as a player, the preparation towards, we went to go and interview Ojo. Remember when I asked him the question, how do players prepare for friendly as against, proper competition? And you remember what he said to us, that, listen, nobody's going to put his leg on the 50-50 ball in a friendly game. What's the big deal? But when it comes to competition, we're going there to die for it. So I think that's one of the things that comes up. And then again, there is also the natural knack to say, we're playing Guinea, come on, we'll beat them. Right? And then you go into that game, and unfortunately, the Guineans are willing to die. But you're not really willing to die, because you're thinking, even if it is 2 minutes to go, we will score. That's not a problem. And that feeling always comes. Let's say Madrid had that feeling as well. And instead of trying to blame Chukwueze, let's say Villarreal as a group came prepared, like the way Guinea came prepared against Nigeria. And Real Madrid took the foot off the gas pedal, like, well, don't worry, we'll beat them. If we just beat Barcelona 4 goals to 1 or 5 goals to 1 in the Copa del Rey semi-finals. Who the hell is this one? We will beat them. And then that happened. So it's just one of those things that happen in football. We can't take that one to judge. He's had a fantastic season. This is one of his best seasons, just the same way this is one of Osimhen's best seasons. But you always judge a football player in a team sport on the backdrop of the cast that he's playing with. Just as I explained Trent Alexander-Arnold's position, that I can't blame him alone in a team sport where the midfield is not doing well, the man in front of me, Mo Salah, is not tracking back, and then you want me to blame him. I can't blame him. I don't have the moral justification, because I'm going to come on this mic tomorrow and defend another fullback and say, because this person is not doing this. So I can't blame him. The same with Samuel Chukwueze. All things, as the Latinos will say, ceteris paribus, all things are not equal when you play in the Super Eagles. Things are just haphazardly done. Imagine the team trained on Monday and on Tuesday in darkness, and you want to beat Guinea. Come on, somebody's, we're joking now. We make ourselves a joke. We created enough excuse for the players not to do well. So I don't think that's a problem. When he go to Madrid, Madrid firm up the bid. He definitely will go. I asked him a question. He responded in the most professional way. But I think that who turns down Madrid?
Nobody, absolutely nobody. But for Chukwueze, that performance was record breaking. According to the statistics, he completed 7 dribbles in that game. He's known for that 1v1, but it's good to see him add some end products to those you're dribbling, adding goals, adding assists, most importantly, helping the team to get a victory, because Villarreal, I think they are fighting for the Champions League places now. I think they are 5th on the log, just 4 or 5 points below Real Sociedad, who are 4th in the La Liga standings. Chukwueze, he's won the Europa League. He's played European competitions for Villarreal, and he became the first player since Diego Forlan to score a brace against Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu. So, the next angle I'm bringing this conversation, we talked about Real Madrid, but what next for Chukwueze? We are not saying off of this performance right now, but generally, what next for Sam? Because consistency has been a problem for him. Like you said, he might go to the next game and not put on this kind of performance. Injuries have been coming for him this season. I mean, he recovered from that long-term injury. But what next for Chukwueze and moving forward?
So from
now to the next
me,
season?
I look at it from two angles. He should pray that injuries doesn't come and knock him out, because that one is something that it's not within my control or anybody's control. True. And then he finds a level of consistency. The reason why we talk about people like David Beckham, Marco Vermas, Frank Ribery, Ian Robben, and the likes Ryan Giggs, is because they did this thing over and over and over. It became something of a surprise when they show up in games and they don't do it. Whoa, why did this guy play this game for 90 minutes and didn't do that? Harry Kane, Erling Haaland, and the rest of them. The expectation, you have to match up the expectation. I think it's got a good season, and he explained it when I had that interview. You can go back and check it on the YouTube channel. Yeah. When he said that, look, this is the first time where he's going through a season without the scare of injuries. And the thing about injuries, I've said it here before, when a player begins to get injured, a certain thing, the most important thing in football, two things are very, very important in a footballer's life: confidence and instinct. When you see that ball that comes in and you control it and make that deft body move, it's instinct. Because in pitching we say you get out for body. Yeah. But when you're injured, too often, you don't want to put too much, because when you move, you feint to your right or feint to your left. What you're actually doing is you are putting the entire weight of your body on the knee.
And those kind of moves might just be that move that gives you long-term injuries. Not necessarily
so when you have gone under the knife, you've been treated, the analysts, the fans, everybody see you from the big screen. You see you from training, food, hospital, the preparation. My son's surgery was done recently. What people know is the day the surgery was done, or probably after the surgery. I talked about it. We've been preparing for this surgery for over a year, right? We've been adapting whether it will work, because it's a 50-50. When doctors start telling you that nothing is guaranteed, could cut something and we lose it. We could do something, it bleed to death. That's why we did all the tests just to keep this thing at a certain level of surety that this boy will not die, right? And since he came out of the hospital, we treat him kind of different. Unconsciously, we just know that we treat him different from Bruno and Rookie. Just because, not necessarily because of the cost of the surgery job, but just because of knowing the kind of thing. I mean, you seen the picture, I'm sure. Yeah. The things that came out of that 3-year-old boy's brain, nose, and throat, and you've said to yourself,
it's scary.
I'm not going to put this boy under pressure. I don't even want to see him cry. It's the same thing with a footballer. So you put yourself in that place where you're very cautious. You walk around eggshells. And then somewhere in the game, like in this Madrid game, and this could just be a turning point where you say, you know what, or die and I die. I came here to play this game. I'm not going to be playing half-heartedly. I'm going to play the game like my life depends on it. And that's exactly what Samuel Chukwueze have done. I'm thinking he should not put a lot of consistency to it. He should run on the opposition if he needs to, bend the ball the way he did it, arrow 2 as you call it, shoot, create assists, and then it becomes the new him. This is the new him, and people know that they can bank on you. Why do big clubs sign players? They sign players because I can bank on this guy. This guy can put up this performance. In 20 games, he'll do it 15 times. So 5 games are just off. But when your performance ratio is 5 in 20, then there's a problem. So I think if he finds consistency, he's shown us that he's got it on him. He's got the ability to do it. He's got the skill set, the talent to do it. Would he be able to put it on show, on display consistently? That's the difference. I remember when I was working in Brilla, where we auditioned some guys and they came in alongside Yinka Sports and the rest of them. And I told them that, listen, it's not about knowing sports. It's about the ability to be able to do this in every day, throw the fans with the way. I mean, if you want to be grandiloquent like Yinka Sports, that's your business. If you want to be layman, PG like me, that's your problem. But you got to be able to do it every single day. As a matter of fact, there's a phrase that I use for them. You've got to be able to work 8 days in a 7 days week on a consistent basis. Your engine must have not just fuel and oil, but it must have turbo and it must have nitro. If you have all of that, then you are game. But if you don't have it, bro, you can't do it at the very highest level. You just be an amateur in the game. So that's the same thing with Chukwueze. Chukwueze needs to know that now, can I move up? Can I step it up a bit and go into the high performance level where when I don't play, my team suffers. So they need me like every single game. And when I come into the game, the opponent is afraid, and then my team is moving a notch higher because I'm in the field. I think if he's able to do that, Madrid is not too far from him.
All right, but one thing that is certain is Samuel Chukwueze actually did it on the big stage over the weekend. I mean, there's no bigger stage to do it than against Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu, and to also secure all 3 points for your team. So we have close to 10 games from now to the end of the season, and with a manager like Setien, I think we might just see Chukwueze score some couple of more goals and provide more assists from now till the end of the season.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.